Hi guys, welcome to Hairdryer Treatment with me, Sophie. So, big news just coming in. Apparently, Man City and Pep Guardiola are willing to walk away from the Sanchez deal because of the sheer demand for him and what Arsenal are asking for him. They don't want to pay more than 20 million. Is this just mind games on their behalf? Because I'm still pretty certain that Sanchez is going to be in a City shirt, and all this build up and all this talk of him being or thinking about coming to United, I think is false, to be honest. He looked destined to go to City. And yeah, I can see this being mind games, to be fair. Hiya, Max. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Drop a comment and let me know. How do you feel about the breaking news that apparently City are willing to walk away from the Sanchez deal? I don't want to pay more than 20 million for him. Is this mind games or what? Hi Leighton, yes it is. Sally Devil Red, hi. Hi Cristiano, Daniel, sorry. So how are you feeling? Do you think Sanchez is going to come to United? Are you feeling like it's more likely now after this breaking news? Or is this just mind games on City's behalf? And obviously if Sanchez does want to go to City in his heart, then this is going to make him panic. And he's going to not want to miss the opportunity to go, in my opinion. I think it's mind games as well, Ammo. That's my personal opinion. As much as I'd love Sanchez to be coming to United, I cannot see that happening. Why all of a sudden would he change his mind unless it's down to money, which is not the kind of player we want. We want players who want to play for United and want to force a move, in my opinion. Leighton, I agree that I think Sanchez would be fantastic at United. However, I can't see it happening. Ronak says I think he'll stay and move in the summer. Yeah, I can't see that happening as well. Would love Sanchez, but it's breaking news. I feel he's just City playing mind games. I agree with that as well. Yeah, Jose Mourinho's press conference is obviously, I think it's 5:30, isn't it? So let's see what he has to say. Normally he'll come out and straight refuse any of these rumours, so let's see if he does that. And then that'll obviously put us in good stead as to what is happening. If Sanchez doesn't come, it looks pretty certain that Lucas Moura could be on his way. How do you guys feel about him? To be honest, I don't know much about him. I've seen him playing for PSG a few times, not many. He's always on the bench whenever I've seen PSG play, or not in the squad, which tells me that he's not a first team player and he's not good enough. But my personal opinion is he good enough for United? We need a winger, and maybe he will fill that void. But is he good enough? Let me know what you think. Also, obviously, Ozil, what's happening with him? Is he signing a new contract at Arsenal as well? It's gone a bit quiet because of the Sanchez news recently about Mesut Ozil. Arsenal obviously feels like he's going to sign a new contract, but what do you think? What's your thoughts on Di Marzio saying that United are favourites for him? Di Marzio, see, he's a funny one. He was fantastic towards the start of the transfer window and he's kind of faded last year, didn't he? He got a few things wrong, especially to do with United. He is normally quite trustworthy. And I think his words yesterday were quite clever. He said that United had made contact about Sanchez. He didn't say that we'd put a bid in. He said we'd simply just made contact, and I think that's quite clever. Whereas today, he's saying that there has been a concrete bid, which makes it a bit more interesting, this Sanchez deal. Again, I still don't think he's going to come to United as much as I'd like him to, but it has got a lot more interesting, especially over the last few hours with that breaking news as well, that Man City apparently are willing to pull out of the deal because they don't want to pay more than 20 million. So yeah, right, I'm going to focus on fixtures this weekend. Obviously, Sunday there's a big game. We've obviously got Liverpool playing this weekend against City. Van Dijk's been talking about his obviously transfer fee as well, saying that 75 million is taking it as a compliment. I've commented recently on Van Dijk saying, you know what, I think it's good business from Liverpool. The fact that Van Dijk is probably the best centre-back in the Premier League who is available. And yeah, I know it's a lot of money, but I think we have to kind of overlook price at the moment in the transfer market because money is ridiculous. And no doubt we'll end up paying soon. So I think he's actually a fantastic signing. He's obviously already scored the winner as well in the Merseyside derby. Fantastic for him. I think it's good business. What Jose says, if he says, then we'll see. I agree. I think he's going to basically confirm tonight in his press conference whether we are getting Sanchez or not. I think we'll know from his body language and the way he speaks. Normally he'll just brush off rumours like this, and if he doesn't, then I think there could be something in it, and that's what I'm waiting on as well. 5:30 I believe his press conference is, so we'll definitely be having a listen to that. And yeah, Mourinho normally comes out and just says no, not interested in the player, or he won't comment. And if he doesn't comment, that will make me think that actually maybe there is something in this. I don't think he's the best centre-back, but I think in terms of centre-backs available, Ronak is what I meant, available for transfers, I think Liverpool really, they've got the best one in Van Dijk. Moura and Sanchez, what a window. I agree, Martin, what a window that would be. And nobody would have predicted that as well. Lucas Moura was a name that was batted around quite a lot, but nobody expected Sanchez to be batted around. And obviously, if he could come to United, I'd be astounded and I'd say, you know what, fantastic from Ed Woodward. However, if he doesn't pull this off, are people going to turn on him again? But I can't really see it happening. Ozil is the one that seems more likely of anybody to come from Arsenal to United, and I think he would suit United's play, and obviously I think he's the kind of player that we are lacking at the moment as well. I would be happy with Ozil, would you? Now that Sanchez's name has been battered around, would you be happy with Ozil playing for United? I would. I think he's a quality player. If Sanchez comes, then January would be massive. Real statement of intent. I agree, and we need to make a statement in my opinion. I don't think we will. And I said that recently as well. I can't see us buying. I don't think we'll do much business in January. That's why I've been quite pleasantly surprised by this Alexis talk, because at least we're being linked with the big players and the players that I think we should be linked with, the kind of calibre of player that we should. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But I'd love it to. I'd obviously love Alexis Sanchez to choose United over City, as it were. But I just can't see it happening. Even if with this release from Man City, I believe that it's mind games. I am going to get me a camera stand, don't worry. Hi Snaps. So, what's your predictions then for the Liverpool City game this weekend? Liverpool obviously being at home gives them a bit of an advantage, but do we think that City are going to win that game? I think City have been outstanding. However, over the last few weeks they haven't looked that good. So for me, I actually think Liverpool could get something there against Man City. I'll probably go with a draw, but I think there's going to be a few goals in that game as well. 3-1 to Liverpool, says Darian. Confident. I think Van Dijk has strengthened Liverpool, and yeah, I'm quite fancying Liverpool, Sally. I'd agree with you a bit there. So, what we're going to say, we're saying a Liverpool draw, 3-1, Martin as well. A lot of people saying 3-1 to Liverpool. A lot of people predicting a Liverpool win, which I would like to see. Van Dijk would improve their defence, yes. I think with Van Dijk in the back, it does give Liverpool a much bigger chance. And obviously, both teams score for fun, so I'm expecting a lot of goals in that game as well. I'm going to go with a prediction, maybe a 3-2 to Liverpool. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 3-2. 2-2, Jonathan says. But do I think about us being with Chica Hernandez? I would love him back at United as well. United fan wanting a Liverpool win. Yeah, I just hate City though as well, and I just want to see them lose. I miss seeing City lose. I think that's my thinking there. A draw would be my preferred result, obviously. 4-1 says Chris. 4-1 to City. So he's gone a bit different there. Most people are saying Liverpool win. Chris has just said City are going to win there. That would be a big away win as well at Anfield. Do you think Sanchez and Griezmann can play in the same team? I do, yeah. I don't see why not. Sanchez obviously can play out wide as well. Sophie, are you Wenger out or Wenger in? As a United fan, I am most definitely Wenger in. If I was an Arsenal fan, I would definitely be Wenger out. So he does my head in, to be honest. Bale, says Darian. He really wants Bale in. What about his injuries though? That's my concern with Gareth Bale. He's obviously injured quite a lot, and that would be my concern with getting Bale in. As much as he's a quality player, he scored again, didn't he, obviously last week, but yeah, it's too injury prone for me. I don't want another Hargreaves on the case where he's got the ability, but we never really see the full extent of it because of injuries. Pulisic, I think, yeah, I would take that swap deal. Why not? For me, if we do get Sanchez, Mickey will be going the other way anyway. I think he'll be included in that deal. Arsenal obviously wanted Mkhitaryan before we even got him. Hi, Ducky. So if we do get Sanchez, I do believe Mkhitaryan will make way as part of that deal as well. Bale should stay away from Man United, just another Phil Jones. That's my concern as well. Mkhitaryan would shine at Arsenal. I do. It's that kind of style of football, and I think he would be a decent player for Arsenal. The only worry for me is, and I'm sure Arsenal will probably have the same concern, is he suited to the Premier League? Because Mourinho didn't play him obviously for a few months when we first signed Mkhitaryan, which is because obviously he wasn't suited to the Premier League. He wasn't enjoying it. Would you buy players to suit the system or change the system to suit the players? That's a very good question. I think we need to change personnel. I do think we need better personnel in there. However, at the same time, I think, yeah, you need to change the system to suit the players as well. We've got players like Jesse Lingard, for example, who are playing number 10 at the moment, whereas he's doing very well. However, there are more players out there of a better calibre that I think we need in that position. And that's just one example. We've also got players like Ashley Young playing at fullback, when there's players out there who possibly could do a better job. But we're making do with what we've got at the minute. Have I seen Mickey's calf muscles? I haven't actually, Darian. I haven't paid that much attention to them, to be honest. Do I rate Malcolm or Moura? Arsenal obviously linked with Malcolm, aren't they, at the minute? I've heard good things about him. I know a lot of Man United fans want to see him in a United shirt. I've got to be honest, I don't know much about him. I know more about Lucas than I do Malcolm. People are saying Malcolm would be outstanding for the future and that is suited to United. But all I've seen on YouTube are just like wonder shots from him, and that's all YouTube ever shows. It's hard to judge off a YouTube video, so I don't know too much about Malcolm. Lucas, obviously if he came to United I would support him, but I don't think he's good enough, and that's me being honest. Because he doesn't play for PSG, that worries me in that league. Lingard put in a man of the match performance. Lingard is on form. I can't really put Lingard down too much. He's doing fantastically well. And I've said before that the movement of Lingard off the ball is better than any other United player. Mark wrote Malcolm off in summer because of his name. Why because of his name? What's wrong with that? I can't believe Sanchez would go to a team where a title is guaranteed. Where is the challenge? Yeah, obviously if he joins Man City then he's already got a Premier League winners medal. However, does he want to take part in a project which is happening at United? Maybe he does. If anybody can talk a player around, surely it's Jose Mourinho. We all know he can talk the talk. Did you see the Man City against Reading game? I didn't see it, but I heard very good things about it, Martin. What about Candreva from Inter? Candreva, for me, is one of these players where he'll have like a few wonder games and then you kind of don't hear him for a bit. He's not consistent enough. And it's a shame really, because I've seen him have some really good games, especially playing like, internationally as well. However, he just doesn't seem to have that consistency. How big a player do I think Martial can be? I think he can be world class. I like Martial, but in order to be world class, he needs to be consistent, and for me, he needs to impact games a bit more. I think in a lot of games, Martial can vanish, and there's been a few times where he hasn't taken a chance when he possibly should have. So yeah, I think he needs to be more consistent if he's going to be world class. If anybody can make Martial into world class, I'm sure it'd be Jose Mourinho. He's having a good season so far. I know he's come off the bench quite a lot, and he's earned that starting place. I do like Martial, and I hope he does become world class because I think he's got fantastic ability. Who cares? We need to compete now, not in the future. I agree with that. The FIFA prospects. I think there's certain, obviously youth is important, and Man United is known for bringing youth in. However, at the minute, I'm sure the club's concern will be we don't want to let Man City get too far ahead of us. United are used to being at the top, and we're not going to want to see Pep Guardiola steamroll this league. This season hurt as much as it is already, losing so early on to Man City. And so I'm sure they'll want to invest and hopefully get United back to the top, which will obviously mean buying players and competing in the market. What is my opinion about Rashford? Rashford, for me, I'm a bit worried about him. I'm hoping he's not a pace merchant. I'm hoping he's not just this little phase that's kind of faded out now, because I think he has got fantastic ability. He's quick. He can finish when he wants to be fair, and he makes stuff happen. However, this season, his body language for me has worried me. He's looked a bit to me like he thinks he's already made it when he hasn't, and he hasn't seemed fully committed. And I'm hoping that it's just kind of maybe just a down patch in his form and he's going to bounce back. I'm hoping that, because he's worried me of late. I do like Rashford, but he hasn't been impressing me of late, and he hasn't really, for me, he hasn't put his head in where it hurts. He hasn't battled, and he doesn't look that bothered. I'm hoping that is not the truth, but yeah. Don't get disheartened. How many are watching? Your channel can go on strength to strength. Thank you, Darian. I appreciate your support. I hope Rashford does not turn out to be a failure. I hope he doesn't go backwards as well. He was progressing really well. And I think he does need game time, but he needs to kind of do what Martial did, come off the bench and take his chances when it comes to it. Every player goes through a bad spell, so we should lay off Rashford for a bit. Exactly, that's why I don't want to put him down too much, because hoping it's just a bad spell and he will bounce back. Hi, Pat. Someone just asked if we can have a signed Sporting Calcer top. Yeah, why not? Will we get thrashed by top European teams like PSG? I'm a bit confused by this, because some people think, oh, we're not doing very well in the Premier League, but we're going to go on and win the Champions League. And I don't know, I just feel like if we're not competing in the Premier League, are we going to go far in the Champions League? I can't really see that happening. However, Mourinho obviously is used to playing against big European teams, and maybe he will surprise us and we will compete better in the Champions League, because that style of football could be more suited. If we get drawn against City in the Champions League, though, that would be a worry for me. I'm hoping Mourinho over two legs, as Darian's just said, would be able to beat European teams, but we'll wait and see. I'm not going to write us off too early. If we get Sanchez, it would be an attraction for top players to the development of the team. Well, I think getting Pogba should have been a big attraction, really. Paul Pogba obviously looked destined to go to Real Madrid, and we ended up signing him. And I think getting Pogba should have been a good advert. Obviously, got Zlatan there as well. I think we have got big players, and we've got obviously a big manager in Mourinho to attract players. But it's just more about the style of football at the minute. I think we need to be more attacking. How far can we go in the Champions League? I think we could go to the semi-finals. I'll be confident in that. I'm in the market for a long-distance stalker. I am not. So, any other comments on the City game? Liverpool against City on Sunday. We've had some scores. I know Chris said 4-1 City. The majority of the other scores were saying Liverpool are going to win. I've said actually Liverpool are going to win as well, because I'm feeling, I don't know, I feel City over the last few weeks haven't looked as solid, and I can see them getting a win, in my opinion, there. I fancy Liverpool as well, Danny. You've put 2-1. I said 3-2. Sally said 3-1. Rashford is overrated when you see the likes of Mbappe, Pulisic and Dembele. Rashford has worried me of late. I think he has seemed a bit overrated. He hasn't really seemed that bothered. His body language to me doesn't show that he's that bothered of late, but I'm hoping it's just a dip in form. We shouldn't get on his back too much, because that's what the English press do, and that's why we spoil our young players, and that's why we've got players like Dele Alli who aren't performing as well. Liverpool, who is Liverpool going to play? Liverpool have got City this weekend, haven't they? Liverpool are playing at home as well. Van Dijk will be playing at the back for them. Don't you think our scouting system is bad? No, I don't, not really. Possible Sanchez transfer, I think would be fantastic. I would love Sanchez. I have commented on that earlier in the video. De Bruyne and Salah long term. Don't wish injuries. Come on, Sean. Want City to win, but I have a bad feeling Liverpool will. I think Liverpool will as well, Ross. Zlatan is finished. I commented that on the United stand yesterday. I said I think Zlatan is finished, which is a shame. I think we'll finish second, yes. Right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your support.